Hi everyone. Here's another YouTube live from All Out Coach. My name is Tim. I talked about business jargon and buzzwords. I criticized them. I was very critical on my last live. Well, now I'm going to offer a few solutions as we look ahead into what ideal buzzwords in next generation growth mindset companies should include. What should they look like? What should they sound like? And here are some of the characteristics that I came up with. Buzzwords that are static, such as fit, for example. Fit. This is a job fit. This is a culture fit, are ones that I avoid. I've avoided all my life, and I think that the next generation leaders are going to question more in the future. And therefore, they should be dynamic. Dynamic means that they need to express an evolution or a transformation over time, a change over time, leading change over time. Just using verbs or adjectives or nouns that are general, that are not specific, that are static in time, are not going to make the cut anymore. I replace the words culture fit with culture growth in a growth mindset organization, or a job fit and a job growth. How can you expand the boundaries of your role? It's incredibly important because a lock and key mechanism is one that does not grow culture, for example. Responsibility. A lot of the old business jargon that we're used to, again, as I mentioned, it deflects our responsibility. Buzzwords, they need to actually associate ownership to the author, to the messenger of those those words. Responsibility of terminating someone, for example, that you rephrase into words like downsizing or restructuring, should be eliminated. We terminated, or we simply fired certain number of people, period. A certain number of people resigned. Okay. Process, root cause, and system. So these all take place over time. The transformation, agility are next generation buzzwords that I like because they are dynamic. They are specific in terms of explaining not just innovation, for example, but a root cause that you are describing something the way you are. Okay, what are some examples of root cause buzzwords? Root cause: purpose over profit, socially conscious. Social conscious is a mindset. It's a trending term. Ecosystem is another one. It may be a little bit general, but it's a complex network of different systems interacting with one another. And you being more aware of every action that you take and its place and impact across the ecosystem. Because you realize that you have to then think about multiple different stakeholders, multiple different audiences, and therefore specialize and diversify yourself and your skills. Upskill is another word, right? Upskill. These are trending buzzwords. Agile and Scrum in software development. They all contain some kind of, they all relate a process, a root cause. Need to somehow fit into a sentence well. There are many that are buzzwords that are general, that are not dynamic, that have the rhythm, but they lose. So an ideal next generation buzzword or business slang is going to include all of these or as many of these as possible. The first one, and the most important one, being that it relates some evolution over time, not just a behavior. So words like fear of missing out, for example, phrases like fear of missing out, or fake it till you make it, or side hustle, they may have the rhythm, they may have become part of the everyday slang or language of our next generation now, but they do not express responsibility. Are you going to be committed to something that you do as a side, on the side hustle? No. Are you going to behave, and are you going to change your behavior if you have this fear of missing out? No. Fake it till you make it. How genuine, how authentic are you going to be if you have to fake everything until you make it? And then when you make it, what do you do and why? How present are you going to be? So they don't explain the root cause, some of these words, and they shift the responsibility. And so own your language, own your terms and your roles, and express them in a way that's consistent, that's trending, that's modern, for the next generation to understand you. But not all of the words that they use are also dynamic. And so we have to criticize each other. We have to improve each other's language.